Heat is one of the strongest mechanics in Tekken 8, but if you're activating it every round just because it gives you a few extra powerful moves, then you're missing what actually makes Heat so strong. Heat is filled with hidden properties, unique interactions, and mechanics that the game never really explains. If you don't understand them, you're probably making mistakes without even realizing it. In this video, we're going to break down the most overlooked aspects of the Heat system, the common mistakes that are holding players back, and how you can start getting much more value out of every Heat activation. By the end of this video, you will understand Heat better than most of the people you face in Ranked. Let's jump right into it. The biggest mistake I see players make is thinking Heat is just a magic button that gives your character a few extra moves. That's only a small part of what Heat actually does. One of the biggest reasons Heat is so strong is because of chip damage. Normally, only certain attacks deal chip damage on block. But once your character enters Heat, all of your attacks starts dealing chip damage, and some moves become incredibly oppressive. So instead of asking yourself, what new moves did I unlock, you should be asking, which of my moves become terrifying during Heat. For example, Jack's charged back 2 at the wall becomes an amazing pressure tool. Even if the opponent blocks, they're constantly losing health while being forced to guess. Every character has moves like this. Learn which attacks become the most rewarding during Heat and start creating situations where your opponent has no other choice but to block them. That's where Heat becomes truly scary. Another mechanic a lot of people don't fully understand is how Heat affects your combo damage. Normally, when you launch your opponent, part of the damage you deal becomes recoverable health, the gray life bar. But Heat changes this in several ways. If you activate Heat early during your combo, not only does your combo scale differently, but a much larger portion of the damage you deal becomes recoverable health. There's another important interaction too. If you launch an opponent while their Heat is active, every single point of damage you deal while they're airborne becomes recoverable health. And finally, after performing a Heat dash, every hit that comes afterwards also deal damage that is completely recoverable. To put all of this into perspective, I calculated exactly how much real damage and recoverable damage each scenario creates. Understanding this helps you make better decisions about when to spend Heat instead of simply activating it whenever it's available. Here's one of the most underrated tricks regarding Heat. Most players know that Heat engagers become plus on block if the opponent chooses to Heat dash, but what many players don't realize is that the Heat engager itself is still punishable if they don't Heat dash. A lot of players throw out a Heat engager and simply let the animation end. In those situations, the move keeps its normal frame data, meaning many Heat engagers are still punishable and some are even launch punishable. The best part, you don't have to react to whether they will dash or not. As soon as you block the Heat engager, start inputting your punish immediately. If they don't Heat dash, your punish comes out and you get your damage. If they do Heat dash, your punish never comes out because you're still stuck in block stun, giving you plenty of time to simply block afterwards. It's completely safe to buffer your punish, and it's a habit every Tekken player should build, especially against launch punishable Heat engagers. Sometimes, your biggest weapon during Heat isn't actually the move you're about to press. It's simply the fact that your character is in Heat. Your opponent knows that every blocked attack chips away at their health. They know your Heat-specific moves become much stronger, and they know you still have access to Heat Dash or Heat Smash. Because of that, many players will simply play more defensively and wait for your Heat to expire. That's why managing your Heat timer is so important. Instead of throwing out random attacks that quickly burn through your Heat, look for moves that let you maintain pressure while preserving as much Heat as possible. For Jack 8, a great example is Gamma Hole 3+4. The red bubble. It's safe, has excellent pushback, tracks side steps, and still leaves you with the option to Heat dash if it connects. Every character has Heat moves like this. Learn which ones let you stay threatening without wasting your Heat, and you'll get much more value out of every activation. The last mistake I see all the time is players using Heat Smash the moment they enter Heat. While that can sometimes be the right decision, in many situations you're giving up one of your strongest tools far too early. Take Jack 8 for example. His Heat Smash is 10 frames fast, meaning it can punish moves that many other characters can't punish as effectively. It's also incredibly strong around breakable walls and balconies, where the reward can be much higher than simply throwing it out in the middle of the stage. Positioning matters. Think about where you'll get the most value before spending your Heat Smash. Another thing people forget is that Heat Smash restores a portion of your recoverable health even if your opponent blocks it. So sometimes the best play isn't to use it immediately, is to hold onto it until the right punish, the right wall position, or the moment when recovering that gray health can swing the round in your favor. And that's going to wrap it up. These are some of the most overlooked heat mechanics and mistakes that I personally see players make all the time, but I'm sure there are plenty more that I didn't mention. So let me know down in the comments what's another common heat mistake you see people making, or what's a heat interaction that you think more players should know about. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure to leave a like and subscribe as usual. It really helps support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.